And I like also to give this example to encourage us to work out this nafs in this moral challenge and to truly pursue happiness. And of course that requires knowledge and that requires a will, and the will develops. And something also very fundamental for that to occur is the dua. Dua, 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 dua. Ask Allah Azza wa Jal to help. Ask Allah Azza wa Jal to put you on this course. You can't do it alone. So I said the example I like to give also sometimes about this nafs and going against the nafs, that it truly gives us energy. And Allah gave us an example in the physical world also, that we even write through equations. At the physical realm, we go upward and we go downward, and we have straight roads and straight trajectories. Does anyone, if you have a choice whether to walk on a straight path, just straight, or to climb a hill, which one will you take? Go straight. Or if somebody tells you climb this inclined hill, 45-degree inclination, or go downhill, which one do you prefer? Go downhill, right? That's the nature of the physical body. And what happens? If you choose to go downhill, the further downhill you go, what happens to coming back up? The more challenging, the more difficult to climb back up. Right? Now, subhanallah, we also learn in physics, basic physics, that when we climb up a hill, what happens to potential energy? Huh? We build up potential energy. Potential energy increases, subhanallah. When you go against your body, when you go uphill, the potential energy increases. That you use later if you walk straight or you go downhill. You lose it or you use it, depending on whether you go downhill after that or you go straight after that. When you walk downhill, what happens to the potential energy? It decreases. You lose potential physical energy, subhanallah. Subhanallah. That's why it's difficult to climb back up. And that's in the world of the physical. And in the world of the nafs, in the field of the nafs. When you walk uphill, what is walking uphill in the field of the nafs? Is going against the nafs, disobeying the nafs, challenging the nafs. You build spiritual potential energy. The more you give the nafs, that's the downhill road, you lose spiritual potential energy. And that's why, subhanallah, when we give the nafs more of what it wants, it becomes difficult to be patient. It becomes difficult to do good. It becomes difficult to obey Allah Azza wa Jal. The more we give the nafs, the more challenging the road. And the more we combat the nafs, subhanallah, the more we combat the nafs pertaining to the hudud, the desires and the shares, if you will, of the nafs, the easier the ta'ah, isn't it? Those of you who have perhaps experienced that, you get to the point from ta'ah being difficult in the beginning, and when you go on and do other things against the nafs, subhanallah, the ta'ah becomes easier and easier and easier and easier gradually, until such a point when the ta'ah you cannot do without it. Like before that, you could not do without disobedience, wal-'iyadhu billah. And even later, somewhere in the course of this journey, even you will get pleasure from that ta'ah. Truly pleasure, delight delight in ta'ah that some people cannot just understand. وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ وَنَهَى النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَى فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى, says Allah Azza wa Jal. But also He says subhanahu wa ta'ala in the part of the surah that says فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى وَأَمَّا مَنْ بَخِلَ وَاسْتَغْنَى وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى. And before that, وَأَمَّا فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى من أعطى note واتقى وصدق بالحسنى فسنيسره لليسرى وأما من بخل واستغنى وكذب بالحسنى فسنيسره للعسرى. One of the inherent meanings in this ayah, subhanallah, is that Allah is saying that the one who obeys Allah Azza wa Jal, a'ta, when you give, your nafs wants to keep, but you give, you go against the nafs. To give is not what usually the nafs likes to do. Wattaqa, and taqwa requires a shield, requires fighting, struggling. Taqwa comes from waqa, which means to shield, to protect, to defend. And when you do that, so you're in a struggle, what does Allah Azza wa Jalla says? فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى. Such an individual, this is one interpretation, we shall make his or her path for him or her easy. We shall direct him to that which is easy. That is, the path to Allah becomes easier. Doing good becomes easier. It feeds on itself. The more good I do, the easier the path becomes for me. The more desirable that path becomes for me. And the opposite of keeping bakhila to keep, to give the nafs what it wants, wastaghna, and feel that he or she is self-sufficient. فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى. This person's path on the way to Allah will be asir, will be difficult. That's why, my dear brothers and sisters, this natural law that Allah Azza wa Jal created in the universe of the nafs is that when I obey Allah Azza wa Jal, subhanallah, obedience becomes easier and easier and easier. And when I give the nafs what it wants, then subhanallah, obedience of Allah Azza wa Jal, doing good, becomes difficult. How difficult it is to wake up for Fajr, isn't it? How difficult it is to wake up for Fajr. How difficult it is to forgive. How difficult it is to give. How difficult it is to restrain one's anger and not to externalize it. How difficult it is to focus in salah. How difficult it is to focus in wudu. How difficult it is not to succumb to the dangerous attractions around me of munkar. Difficult, difficult, difficult. In a sense, we reflect, or the universe, what's around us reflects what we are. What's around us reflects what we are. That's all it is. The way the universe behaves with me, the way the environment responds to me, actually is another way to know myself. Wallahi alladhi la ilaha illahu. The way the environment, the human environment, the animal environment responds to me is in a sense the reflection of what I am. And if it is difficult, then it is because I am difficult. And the degree of that difficulty depends on the degree of my difficulty. And if I disobey Allah Azza wa Jal, if I do wrong, if I violate the rights of Allah and the rights of the creatures of Allah Azza wa Jal, then rest assured, somehow, somewhere, sometimes, my rights will be violated by someone else or something else. No doubt about it.